Some very, very brave women now. They're both competing in the brilliant BBC Three show Last Woman Standing. If you haven't seen it, it's basically girls travelling around the world, hanging out with different tribes and having a go at some pretty tough tribal battles.
Say that
Have a
again.
look at this. It's hardcore.
Lifting the log is one thing, running with it is another.
Tell us if you need some help.
We need this higher.
The athletes are struggling with both. But in just 5 days' time, they'll be joining the locals in a race over 4 kilometres.
Oh, there, let's go run with Alex. Come on, Alex! Come on, Alex! Let's rock. Hey! Woo!
Pushing herself harder than ever before, Alex has proved to herself and the tribe that she has what it takes to compete.
OK, let's chat to two of the show's contestants. Welcome to Studio 5, Leslie Sakin, Alex Allen.
Hey!
Ladies, honestly, I've watched it. I watched the one when you lot doing some wrestling with some pretty hardcore girls. Why would you not put yourself through that sort of stuff?
I think just to see that we could really, and why not? We get to go to all these amazing places in the world that we'll probably never get to go to again. So we thought we'll have a go at it.
You're
really.
far too glamorous, though. Come on, look at you. You're
Glamorous
gorgeous.
up now.
Don't underestimate. Do not underestimate. That's what we learnt the hard way, actually. You never underestimate anyone.
Yeah, and Leslie, we saw you lifting those logs. They looked huge. How heavy were they?
They were really heavy. I think they were like 50 kgs, and they weren't logs. They're like tree stumps. They fill them with water to make them heavier. So when you lift them up, they actually like scrape the skin off your shoulder.
Oh my love, you are two strong women.
Wow. Alex, you were running in Brazil. What was that like? It must have been boiling.
Cool. Well, on the hottest part of the day, it's 42-degree heat, which was when they decided to train, funny enough. And for us, obviously, in England, it's generally never above freezing anyway. So being in that sort of heat alone just affects you anyway. And then having to carry, obviously, the log and all the little factors, I think, really played such a part. But I think that's really nice because you want to be able to see not only have we had to do this, but what we actually, the little things that really affect you.
Yeah.
And Leslie, you mentioned that you've had the opportunity to go to amazing places you wouldn't have visited, but what's been the hardest place that you had to go to?
I think going to that tribe, I found it quite tough. I think because, they were quite... they weren't the friendliest tribe in the beginning, so part of the barrier was trying to, communicate with them and kind of make friends with them first. And then the second thing was, running with a heavy log in 40-degree heat isn't easy. And then you do it on little food as well. You eat whatever the tribe eats, so...
Did you have translators then? Is that how you kind of bonded with them?
Yeah.
You do, but I mean, they're with you at such a short amount of time. I mean, literally, they're filming for such a smaller part of the day. So at the end of the night, when all the crew go home, we're not... Do you know what I mean? We're stuck there, and it is really intimidating being with people, and they're not the friendliest of tribes, as you'll find out, and it is so scary, and no one talks to you. And I mean, a lot of us got very ill, and you couldn't just leave your hut because of the wild dogs, and it's very hard when you need to go to the toilet.
It's horrible.
No, there was a lot going on, but it was an amazing experience. I think what it was that we were all out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So when you're in that environment, everything seems a bit scary, but, part of the challenge, except for the sport, was learning to deal with the life and the living and the family and the people.
It's amazing how quickly you do adapt to it, though. I think we all did adapt pretty well to it, and you end up forming a bond with these people, and it's just so amazing.
But what about night time? Because it's the night time that would get me, the cockroaches and spiders and snakes.
I didn't go to the toilet.
At all? Night time?
I used to wake up and just be like, as soon as it was light, I kind of just...
You're like... Phew.
Yeah, because just because it's dark and there's a lot of dangerous animals and insects more than anything, snakes, scorpions. But to be fair, when you're in the hut, it's kind of, they're all in the walls. There's cockroaches and there's spiders, and so you just kind of, I used to sleep with the cloth over my face.
Night time, wouldn't you? You'd hear the rustling of the cockroaches running over you, and you think you dreamt it, but it was because you'd
real.
half be asleep, and it's just you can't think about that. If you worried about every little bug, you wouldn't make it through the week, and you've got to just man up.
At any stage, could you imagine how hard it was going to be? Is it harder than you thought, or is it you thought, I thought
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life, most rewarding rewarding.
I'm not surprised though. As you say, you go out of your comfort zone, you grow in confidence as a result of that. So you must both feel amazing now.
Yeah, I feel you feel like you can do anything now. You know, you feel like the little things don't matter as much.
You can take on the world.
Yeah, basically.
Do you want to be a boxer in the Olympics? Is
Yeah,
that
I'm
right?
trying.
She is going to take on the world.
Well, I'm trying. I'm on my way now. So
I'm very uncomfortable with women boxing. I don't like seeing women
She's
boxing.
pretty.
We've disagreed
He's
over
doing
this
an Amir
before.
Khan, right? Isn't he?
I'm not, no, but it's
brilliant.
something that I find, it just seems very strange to me.
What I
love
say
women
to you is
boxing.
that
It's cool.
give us a chance. We're getting the
Yeah.
first opportunity to showcase the sport. There's been kind of women in England, you know, working really hard over the years to try and get this far and to have the opportunity to showcase it at the Olympics. So watch it,
Yeah.
see what you think, and then you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
But good for you, I say.
Yeah,
and
thank
good luck.
you.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Thank
but
you.
I'm going to say, we were in the makeup room having girly chats, both beautiful and very glamorous. Alex, in particular, I understand that you've got a dog called Jimmy Choo. Is that correct? And I noticed some fabulous shoes on your feet.
Yeah, well, basically, he's my life and soul. He's my little chihuahua. I wanted to bring him today, actually. Yeah, he's at the vet's. He had his little plums removed, so it had to be done.
Poor Jimmy!
Did you have to do that yourself?
No,
After that
of course
tribal
not, but he's gone
experience.
to a very nice vets. But yeah, he's not going to be happy when I get home.
Oh,
waiting for me.
you're in trouble.
But yeah, no, he's my life. But I tell you what, I'm just like him because he's so little and people underestimate him. But he's like an Alsatian. Honestly, he alone thinks he can take on the world.
So it's a bit like his owner,
He
really.
is little,
Yeah.
but that's it.
What's
Doesn't
next for you?
realise
Yeah,
it's
but
sad.
dangerous.
What's next for you guys? Because obviously you're going to try and work towards the Olympics. What about you, Al?
And not get your nose broken.
Yeah.
Please.
Touch wood,
Just sort
touch
of,
wood.
obviously, I'm doing pole fitness. They're also talking about sort of making that more sort of legitimate sport as well, because obviously it is sort of a gymnastics. There's a lot of strength that goes into it, and that would be quite nice to sort of put that out there and sort of change the sort of
Excellent.
the opinions about
Right.
it. That would be quite cool, and just carry on my fitness.
Right.
So.
Good luck. Good luck to go. Can we get it for Leslie and Alex, please?
Amazing.
Okay, you can
Inspiration.
see The Last Woman Standing on BBC 3 on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. It is well worth watching.
Definitely.